Good morning and welcome to day 15 of JanuDAILY. I am just sat here getting some work done, which is the life of a work from home parent. But we have quite a bit to get done today as far as work is concerned. I have some organizing that I want to do in my office, which is not even really part of my office space. I really actually want to organize my nail and beauty stuff in there to make it a little bit more user friendly. I feel like if I just took some time to create some type of system with all of this stuff, that the likelihood of me just leaving it sprawled out on the nail desk when everything is said and done for days and days and days would be less likely. So maybe we can get a head start on that at some point today. And I can't promise that the whole project is gonna get done today because like I said, we are still trying to fit the puzzle pieces all together with adding school into the mix. And when that is the case, I'm out and away from my home. But yeah, I think that would be something that I would really like to cross off my to-do list for the day. And we are very much bundled up inside because it is currently 27 degrees outside, is that correct? Yes, 27 degrees, which again, you Northerners are probably like, girlfriend, oh honey. Because I know for some of you, it's probably in the negatives. I would not survive. And I had said up until this year, I was like, it's so such a shame that I don't live in a more colder temperatured climate area because I don't love summer. I much prefer winter and people look at me like I'm crazy. And then I remembered it's because I do winter in North Carolina, not in an actual tundra, because I would not survive. I would not survive. I love the cold. I love the cold from the inside. And I feel like I have very good justifications for that. I like the cold because it's a good excuse to curl up in a warm bed with a nice book. It's a good excuse to get some popcorn and sit with a good show. It's a good excuse to light a fire and be cozy on the inside. So that's what I mean when I say that I prefer the winter. That's what I'm talking about. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and try to get to a stopping point with work so that we can maybe transition to that organization project before it's time for us to leave and get school underway and start the second half of the day. Okay, let's enter the danger zone. I don't know why I have such a tendency for my office to get it's just unorganized. It's just unorganized, and because it's unorganized, it gets messy really quickly because I don't have a place for everything. So let's take a look at what we're working with. Okay, well, first of all, we have trash on the floor, which hopefully my address is not visible on that. And this is the remnants of hair and nails the last few days. I have this that I'd used when my son was in our bedroom, like a makeshift nursery, but none of this stuff is intentional. There's nothing intentional about any of the organization here. So it's actually kind of my hope to clear off this rack entirely and maybe just keep my makeup bag, and that's it maybe on that side. Maybe a couple of things that I need to grab regularly, but I would love for the majority of my nail stuff to be organized and live in this, which I love this. Also, cat food that we don't use, I need to donate it to somebody. But I love this drawer set, and I'll link it down below actually, but I feel like I could create some decent organization utilizing this. I just don't have an organizing brain. I want things organized and I will use things organized. I can organize files. I cannot organize things. To categorize things is harder for me. Not entirely sure why. I'm not even gonna show you my Alex drawers because those are a joke and a half because they're just stuffed full of zero context stuff. There's no rhyme or reason to any of the things that are where they are in those drawers. But let's maybe try to get these things categorized and put them into some type of system. To add to the layers of complexity, I actually have a meeting in downtown Wake Forest this afternoon after I've dropped my son off for my job. So needing to make sure that I have everything prepared and ready for that, and also prepared and ready to head out the door. Also, look at Breddy. Breddy White she's thriving, y'all. I think it is time. I did order a couple of proofing baskets and then like a few other accessories to help me make sourdough. Do you need those things? No. Am I afraid to make sourdough? Yes. So am I doing that classic thing where I'm like, I can't do it until I have XYZ? And you know, it's a form of procrastination. We know this. It's fine. We're going to survive. We will make our first, look at that. She's so healthy. We will make our first sourdough bread before the end of the month. That I can assure you. In case you were also wondering, if you have a dog who loves sourdough, even though you have a lock on your trash can, it was initially for the child. Has the child ever really given us any trouble with the trash can? Not really. No, not at all. Has the dog in her later years? Yes, she has. I know that it's a sign of being uncomfortable. I realize it's getting close to the time for us to make a very difficult call. I get it. But on a more humorous note, our dog, her whole life, has loved sourdough bread. She likes bread in general, but she has like a true soft spot for sourdough. So I find it hilarious that now here at the very near end of her life, I'm like, I'm gonna try to make sourdough. It's probably for the best that I didn't start this journey any sooner than this, because I don't know that we would have ever actually gotten to consume any loaves, because she's special when it comes to finding out a way to get a hold of a sourdough. Does not matter where we put it, how secure we think it may be. If we leave the house and there's sourdough somewhere in it, she will find it, she will consume it. Well, apparently same is true for sourdough starter. The unfortunate thing is sourdough starter, once it dries, becomes cement. You may think I'm being dramatic. Start a sourdough starter and then come back and tell me if you think I'm being dramatic. And the other day she got into our trash after I had discarded while I was gone. And her whiskers were cemented to her face. She was full on covered in sourdough starter. Trust me, it was not fun to clean up. Thankfully, I was not the one that had to clean it up, because I probably would have lost my mind. Because usually by the end of the day, I'm hanging on by a very, very thin thread. And it was my husband was supposed to be out of town for yet another day. He came home early without telling me. So that was a nice little like surprise to find out when I got home. Even nicer that he was the one that intercepted the sourdough starter situation and then had to mop the sourdough off the floor, which again, not a fun thing to do. All right, I just did 5 tablespoons of flour. I'm not weighing anymore. I'm leaving a very minimal amount of, I think that was 5. I'm gonna have to go back and watch these clips to find out. I wasn't counting. I can tell by the texture. I'm leaving a very little bit of sourdough starter in the bottom and then adding 5 and 5. Luckily by now, I'm starting to get a sense of what the texture should be like. I gotta say, even though I haven't actually baked anything other than a discard recipe, this has been so much fun. Like, I understand now why so many people got into it during the pandemic, because it's just nice to have something kind of silly to focus on. It's like having a pet, right? It's like having a Tamagotchi. Remember those chia? Remember chia pets? Are those still a thing? Because you know what? I would love a chia pet. I am terrible at keeping plants alive, but I feel like I've proven to myself that I can take something I don't know anything about, research it, learn about it, and take care of it now. I feel like the people that know me in real life are watching this video are screaming at the screen, being like, don't you dare get any plants. You will kill all of them. All right, Betty is good to go for another day. One thing I have not seemed to be able to figure out since Wade started school is getting lunch, eating lunch, finding lunch. it's like I finally, once I get where I'm going, like to sit down and work for a little bit after I've dropped them off, I just eat a snack, but then come dinner time, I'm starving. So I'm doing something a little risky, and I am very quickly going to try to shove some grocery store sushi in my mouth before I go to my meeting. I did get a text from my boss that she's running a little behind, so I might actually have time to make this happen before we go, but I'm not entirely sure. Is it the best idea? Maybe, maybe not. I'm just gonna eat and then I'll head into my meeting. I'm not gonna film this because I don't know anybody that looks attractive shoving entire sushi rolls into their mouth. This is a rainbow roll with albacore, salmon, and tuna. So there was a bit of a fail with the Target pickup. I really just wanted like those plain white bins, like the clear bins that have the white little lids on them. And they came out with the bins and then they were like, oh, sorry, we're gonna send somebody out with the lids. And they came back like 5 minutes later and they're like, we're so sorry. We're sold out of the lids. We clearly ran out of them. I'm so sorry. We can either refund you or just give you different bins. So they came out with these. Don't love that they're red. That's a silly thing not to love, but I don't love that they're red. But they will work for right now. And honestly, they're going in a drawer, so I don't know how much that's going to matter. I do have some things kind of like randomly in these drawers that have like no real rhyme or reason, but now the real trick is going to be, I essentially can only fit, oh, this was a fail. I can only fit one bin per drawer. So maybe this was not my brightest idea. We'll figure this out. I also got a handful more of these. They didn't have any of the clear ones left, so I just got the blue ones. I did not realize that my spinach was wilted, so I'm gonna not make my salad tonight, which is very much a bummer because I'm very excited to share it with you, but I'll make it tomorrow. Instead, I'm going to make these Southwestern Club wraps from Michaela Thomas's recipe book. This is from the Holy Grail. Is it called a recipe book? Cookbook. I'm telling you, at the end of the day, my brain is fully fried. So this includes a low-carb tortilla, a Laughing Cow cheese, a little bit of a Fiesta Ranch packet. I'm gonna use rotisserie chicken. It's a slice of cooked bacon, a slice of cheese. She recommends Colby Jack, which I'm not sure if I have, but we'll see, and then some avocado. So I'm gonna make one of those for me, a couple for Jonathan. What do you want for dinner? Both.
Both.
Both what? I don't know, but let's make some of these wraps.
With the toys though.
Yeah.
I was gonna have to take, other than that gate, you're free to go outside, man.
Considering I'm on my last bite, I'd say these were pretty good. Once I'm done eating dinner, I am gonna go back into my office and at least try to categorize the gel nail polishes and put them into bins, but we will likely have to complete that project tomorrow or the next day because I do also have some stuff coming from Amazon that I'll be using in that room as well. And so this is gonna be like a multi-day project. I hope that's okay. So this actually fit perfectly in one of these little things, which is nice because then the polishes will stand up. I think I'm going to put some others on this side and try to stand them up as best I can and see if that works. I feel like I've made some decent progress. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys kind of what I have going on at the moment. I do have other things coming later this week, and I feel like I probably am gonna like tweak this a little bit, but here's what I'm working with. So first, this is just like a bin of extra stuff. So like extra bits for my nail or my e-file. I do have another one of these. These are just basically like sample. I would love to be able to like eventually categorize all my nail polishes. I'm not there, but just extra nail tools, things like that. So these little blue cases, they were the 99 cents from Target. Super handy. Okay, so in this first drawer here, I have like my grab and go stuff. So this bin here is like all of my top coats, anything I need to do like a normal manicure, builder gel, basically any of the basics I would need to be able to do any kind of manicure. And then this here, I'd like to replace it at some point because it's like very cracked and broken. But these are all of like the standard nail tools that I'm using at any given moment. I probably should go through and edit this because these probably need somewhere else to live. The frequency in which I'm doing a pedicure is not enough to have it living in there, but I probably need to edit that at some point, but that's where this is gonna live right now. And here is my e-file and all of my drill bits for right now. In this, I have all of my glitter gel, and then that first blue bin is my like nail art. So I have my brushes, sequins, stickers, guides for French manicures. That kind of stuff isn't gonna be living in here for right now. And then this other bin that's in here is just all of my chrome powders, which are these here. And then the DIY cat eye polish set that can also be used as chrome powders. And then I hate that I forgot that this was in here, but this is literally the top coat that I should have used with these powders when I was trying to do that nail art that last time, and I just didn't grab it. And then I use this brush when I'm doing chrome. Okay, in this next drawer, I have all of my nail polish colors that, or at least all of my gel polish colors for right now. And then in this blue bin is my Gel X kit for right now. So these are all of the extensions, which you guys would have seen me organizing earlier into these little bins. The flash cure lamp, and then the nail glue for right now is just gonna live in here. And then this other blue bin is all of my cat eye polishes and then all of my magnets. So this is the extent of my cat eye collection at the moment, not including the cat eye kit that I have that I just showed you guys. In this drawer, I just have my cure lamp and then that bin that I showed you guys a minute ago that has all of the excess stuff. And honestly, that's it for right now. I do still have, I think I have a plan for this. I have not gotten there yet. All of this stuff is stuff that like that lamp I'm giving away to a friend. There's stuff that I just need to like clear off on this. This used to be like the extent of my manicure kit. Everything I owned nail polish wise used to fit in this, which is hilarious because when we moved from Charlotte into my mom's house in 2019, I purged a lot of my nail polishes and gave them to my niece. And then just after my son was born, I decided, I was like, I'm not bothering with regular nail polish anymore. As much as I love it, I wasn't waiting for nail polish to dry. Even with my beloved Sech Vite, I just wasn't going to risk the time it took for a manicure to dry. And like if I smudged it, it was gonna bother me. So I just decided I was no longer in a season of my life where regular nail polish was a thing. And I gave all of my nail polish away. And it was an excessive collection. I'm a little nauseated to think about how much money I had spent on nail polish stuff in the years that I was really into it, but it was the only real hobby I had, and I used all of it, and I loved all of it. So it is kind of entertaining to me that like the extent of my gel manicure collection can fit in one shoebox essentially, but you live, you learn, you grow, you mature, things change, it's fine. So a lot to figure out with all of this, and yes, my lights fell. Have I fixed them? No, I have not. But I do still have bins left over, which is great. And like I said, I still have some stuff coming from Amazon, I think later this week. So getting there. It's not perfect, but we are in much better shape than we were in when I did my last manicure. At least now I feel like everything has its own place. Everything lives within its own little bin. And when I need something, I just grab either what I need from that bin and put it back in, or I just take the little bin out and bring it onto my little desk and then put everything back and put it away. I think that system's just going to work a lot better for me. But if you cannot tell by the just giant bags under my eyes, I am so sucked out of you tired, and I think it's probably just a combination of just a lot of things at the moment. So I am going to go ahead and end this video here, and I will definitely keep you guys informed as I make further progress on this room and getting things organized. As you can see, I have things now on top of these dresser drawers that I now need to find a new home for. I just have a lot of like organizing and editing to do of my spaces, and I'm happy to do that. Like I'm enjoying the fact that I get to do that. I also am enjoying the fact that I feel like I want to, because for a lot of last year, I knew I needed to, and I knew doing it would make me feel better, but I did not want to. And I didn't even really want somebody else to do it for me. I just didn't want any of it. So it feels nice, and I'm grateful to be feeling back a little bit to my old self. Just feeling, people keep asking me, like people who are in my real life keep asking me like how I'm feeling vlogging every day and if it's having the effect that I hoped that it would. And it is so much. It's a ton of work. It's so much work, and I definitely did not consider how much work it was going to be on top of everything else I have going on. But it's something I am so happy to do, and it's work I'm having so much fun with, and it's work I'm happy to prioritize because it's also somehow prioritizing myself, which is the exact intention of doing this whole series, is to just start showing myself the kind of love and attention that I would show a friend. And I'm always going to make time for a friend. I'm always going to make time for a friend. If a friend called me and I was the busiest I've ever been in my entire life, and they had that sound in their voice, you know, the one, and they're like, hey, I need you, nothing else to me would matter in that moment, unless it was like something with my child, of course. But like, I would rearrange many things to make myself available to a friend when they need me. And you know what? I need me right now. I need me, and I need to be there for me. And doing this so far this month has done exactly that. And so I'm really enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun. I appreciate those of you that are here so much. And I appreciate the like new subscribers that I'm getting, which is just really exciting and definitely a fun little side effect of doing this kind of content on a regular basis. So thank you guys so much for like, I don't know, giving me a chance, hanging out with me, sharing a little bit of your day with me. It is not lost on me that to choose to click on one of my videos means that you're not clicking on something else. And I appreciate that so much, and I'm humbled by that, incredibly humbled by that. So thank you. And if you resonated with this content at all, or if you just think that we're the kind of people that could be friends, go ahead and subscribe, like the video, leave me a comment down below. What is the thing in your house right now that you most desperately need to organize? Because obviously for me right now, it was this space, and this is going to be an ongoing project, but I would love to know if you guys are on a similar journey and have a space that you're like, you know what, no, by the end of the month, I'm getting it organized. Because that's my goal, is that by the end of this month, this space will be a lot more functional. So anyway, that's gonna be it for me today. I'll see you guys all again tomorrow. Bye.